I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on a chilly Friday morning. Lots of sunshine today, not so much over the weekend. Going to get close to normal temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. Might not get there, but this cooler than normal spring is going to continue. Complete forecast details are on the way. It's Friday, and you know what, if you've been following this show for any length of time, you know what our tradition is around here, how we work 2 Fridays. Monday, Uriah and I are here. We work. We don't work real hard. Tuesdays are like Mondays. Wednesday, we kind of lean forward a little bit, try and get our act together. Thursdays, we almost have all of our ducks in a row. And then on Fridays, we guarantee you a 5-star program or double your television viewing pleasure back. News, yes. Sports, yeah, lots of it. Lots of sports. Friday's always busy in the ever-widening world of sports. We'll get that to you as well. Mike McNally's got an opinion, everything else that you're used to. And in the back half of the program, in our interview segment, had a chance to pop on up to the offices of CASA on Douglas Street, right next to the Chelan County campus, not far from our studios, as a matter of fact, to sit down with Stacy Gold. Stacy works at Sage and CASA have teamed up once again this year to bring you Color Rush. It'll be on the morning of the youth parade. It's a cool thing. It's a great fundraiser for CASA and Sage. They want volunteers and they want participants. Stacy and I will visit in the back half of the program. You're going to like that visit. I know I enjoyed it. It's 2 minutes after the hour. Let's go. 34 degrees here in the big city. It's chilly. Badger Mountain will lead us off today. Normally, of course, we use the Heights camera, but mix things up. Why not? You can see Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval there, just being bathed in the sunlight. Friendly reminder. They open off their 53rd season tomorrow night with the Tommy Wentz Classic. Best of luck to Jeremy and Garrett and Michelle and the crew there at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. There is no lack of things to do this weekend around the valley. Beautiful view from our Badger Mountain camera, and the snow continues to recede. It's been a great spring for my yard, but that's about it. My tree hasn't even begun to bud out yet in my front yard. Upper Butte. Just check in with Chelan. Good morning, Lake Chelan. As you can see, they have not filled up the bathtub yet. Takes a little while. You can see Wapato Point. See a pretty good dose of Manson. Looks like it's a little breezy up there at the Butte, and it should be. That's, of course, it's supposed to be windy up there. It's an exposed Butte. Even on calm days on the lake, that thing can shake pretty good. Good morning to Lake Chelan. Looking good, as it always does. Is Cashmere looking good today? The answer to that is yes. Good morning to Cashmere from our Hay Canyon camera. Sun's just starting to kiss the trees in the Cashmere area. Sunrise this morning, 6:14. Sunset tonight, 7:49. 13 hours and 35 minutes of daylight today. Yesterday's high, 54. Supposed to be 61. I did the math this morning. 35 of our last 44 days. I went back to March 1st. It seems simple enough. So since March 1st, 35 of the last 44 days, our afternoon high temperature has been below normal every day in the month of April except one. Our afternoon high temperature has been below normal, and that one day, it was right at normal. Yes, it has been a cool spring. And finally, Bill E. Goat, beautiful. All the snow is now gone. It took a long time for the snow to dissipate up in the Okanagan area. Of course, they had more snow than we had here in the Wenatchee Valley. And so there you go. It's looking good. Hopefully Alta Lake will be open soon if it isn't already. Gamble Sands is open. I like that. The mighty Medhow. Good morning, Pateris. Good morning, Brewster. Can't see Bridgeport, but it's there. Trust me. Our friends up in Okanagan County get a little love this morning. From the National Weather Service, I wish I could give you better news than this, but here we go. Temperature is going to remain below normal throughout the forecast period. In fact, it's going to go right back down again for most of the next work week. Now, today, nice, lots of sunshine. It's going to take us a while to get to 58, but we should get there. 38 for the overnight low tonight. Now, you're going to start noticing tonight, if you're out and about, some high clouds begin to roll in to the Wenatchee Valley, and they're going to be hanging around on Saturday and Sunday. High clouds, but a lot of them on Saturday, and maybe a little bit of rain. Don't think that's going to happen. We'll get up to 60, which is actually still below normal, because now our normal high, as we get deeper into the year, is now 61. So close to normal, but not quite there. Chance of rain Sunday afternoon into Sunday night. Again, a high of 60. 32 for the overnight low on Sunday. That would be a record for April 16th if we get that cold. Sunday night rolling into Monday. And yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be cool and unsettled for most of the next work week. We can't seem to bust out of this stuff. We're used to, this is Wenatchee. It's the middle of April. We've had any number of days in years past where we would have lots of sunshine and temperatures hitting near 70 or into the 70s. Hasn't even come close to that this year. You remember last April was the coldest and wettest ever measured, and this April is following it right in its footsteps. Much cooler than normal temperatures, not only for our afternoon highs, but for our overnight lows right through Thursday of next week. Might as well get used to it. 6 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the news that you need to get your day going. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I chose a career at Kuntz South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Kuntz South. Come grow with us.
In the market for an RV? Do not buy any RV before you shop Clickin' RV. Because Clickin' RV has just acquired over 300 2022 fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers, and motorhomes. And everyone is just $199 over invoice. And take advantage of 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and low interest financing. Plus guaranteed lowest price and lifetime warranty. So don't miss the Clickin' RV Do Not Buy sale. Going on now at all 5 locations, including right here in Moses Lake.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
How much are you paying for adult family or assisted living? The Eplodolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments for one affordable price. They are diligent with their cleaning and sanitary standards to keep all residents healthy. Residents enjoy good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Rooms are now available, so call ahead for a tour and see if the Eplodolin is the right choice for you. Eplodolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Kashmir. Affordable care.
A rather cool 34 degrees, upper 50s today, lots of sunshine. You might want to soak it in because the clouds are going to have the upper hand over the weekend, and unfortunately, fairly sunny but quite cold conditions for most of next week. It's 9 minutes after the hour. State Senator Brad Hawkins' bill that would establish a new Wenatchee Valley Sports Complex and Aquatic Center has finally cleared the state legislature. Yesterday, Hawkins' Senate Bill 5001 got the concurrence it needed in the Senate. It passed both chambers, by the way, by wide margins. If it's signed into law by Governor Inslee, it would allow regions that already have a public facilities district, like the one that governs the Town Toyota Center, to create a second such district for the purposes including a regional sports center. Multiple cities and entities around the valley have endorsed the proposal, including the cities of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee. The sports complex is now in the early visioning stages. A committee is being helmed by East Wenatchee Mayor Gerald E. Crawford to go through the next stage. Firefighters in Moses Lake have recovered a body of a man who died in a house fire. This happened early yesterday morning. 78-year-old James S. Johnson was unaccounted for when responders arrived at the home in the 2900 block of Road D9 Northeast. 4 other adult occupants were able to evacuate. The fire was out By 3 a.m. in the morning, the home had partially collapsed, and for safety reasons, the recovery effort didn't begin until after daylight. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A 22-year-old Wenatchee man is suspected of distributing illicit drugs ranging from cannabis to fentanyl to high school students in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. On Wednesday, the Columbia River Drug Task Force arrested Blake William Wallace on suspicion of distributing controlled substances to underage recipients. Detectives say they put Wallace under surveillance after learning that he was buying nicotine and cannabis products from retail stores and then reselling them to teenagers at an inflated price. They say Wallace advertised such products on his Instagram account. Now, when he was arrested, Wallace was allegedly carrying fentanyl, a small amount of methamphetamine, and about $1,000 in cash. He remains in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center on a $25,000 bond. Charges have yet to be filed. A two-vehicle crash yesterday on North Wenatchee Avenue, where it meets up with Walnut. That sent one person to the hospital with minor injuries. Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld said it was a collision between two Kias shortly before 5 p.m. in which one driver ran the red light entering that intersection. 53-year-old Michael Kreider of Wenatchee was cited for failure to stop. The crash closed one lane to the four-lane Wenatchee Avenue, that area, for about 45 minutes during the peak traffic hours on Tuesday afternoon. The Chelan Douglas Community Action Council does a lot of good around the Wenatchee Valley, and now they want you to return the favor if you're willing to do so. It's a nonprofit, of course. They help feed about 9,000 people living with food insecurity throughout the region, and they're close to their $6 million goal to expand and update their food distribution center at a new location on North Wenatchee Avenue. I had a chance to sit down with Director Alan Walker, who talked about the latest capital fundraising drive.
So right now we're scattered around in 4 different locations, 3 of which we rent. One we do own, our main office building, but 3 other locations we rent, and we've been renting for a number of years, and it's just grown more and more difficult to operate, and really our food distribution center really can't function to its full capacity anymore. The space that we have is just really limited, and that was really what prompted this whole process, was to find a new location for our food distribution. And it just kind of all came together where, hey, we have an opportunity to bring everything together and provide additional services to our community too.
We, of course, went down to the facility currently on North Wenatchee Avenue, not far from Denny's, and it is small.
It is.
It is small, yeah. And infrastructurally speaking, it wasn't working anymore. I'm talking specifically about the walk-in freezer and the walk-in refrigerator, yeah, to keep fresh fruits and vegetables fresh for as long as you possibly can. Kept breaking down, and wasn't big enough, all those problems.
Yeah. Yes. Numerous repair issues on the units right now. You know, they're older than we've been in there. We've been in there for 25 years, and so these units are just, they've gone beyond their life expectancy, so to speak. But we have brand new units ready to install in the new facility, so we're excited.
Talk about the prospective new site. It's a sizable building behind Jet Pro Auto Wash, basically, on North Wenatchee. Yeah. As we throw up the artistic rendering of what you hope to be moving into in the not too distant future, there it is. Talk about this building and why it works so well for you. So
the building is comprised of 6 or 7 different individual buildings, kind of all linked together. So that aspect is nice. Primarily a warehouse and office setup currently, which is what we need. We need warehouse space and office space, so it lends itself well that way. And there are 2 buildings that we will not be utilizing, which we'll be able to rent out, and we have people interested in renting those from us. So that's nice from an income perspective. We'll be able to generate income from those and cover our ongoing maintenance and operation costs on the property itself.
The need of the services that the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council does is not going to go away. If anything, it's going to continue to increase.
Unfortunately, we would like to say it's going to go away, but as the population continues to grow, as we've seen it, since Wenatchee was formed, just proportionately, we have a certain population that is going to continue to need a little extra help.
That's what's making news on this Friday. We'll be right back at it again with your newscast at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 on television, on our YouTube page, on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and on our Facebook page. Grant Olson's taking the day off. Jefferson Robbins will be in the anchor chair tonight, and I'll be handling weather. Want to see a train wreck? Tune in at 5 o'clock tonight. When we come back, sports, and a lot of it. An adult portion is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units. 17 minutes after the hour, the Wenatchee Wild begin the second round of the BCHL Interior Division playoffs tonight. They will be in Penticton, taking on the Bees at the South Okanagan Events Center tonight and tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. You can follow the action on radio locally with Austin Drade at 560 KPQ. The best of 7 series will shift to the Town Toyota Center next Tuesday and Wednesday. Vegas secured the number 1 seed in the Western Conference playoffs, beat Seattle last night at Climate Pledge Arena. The final was 3-1. Jaden Schwartz, the only Kraken to find the back of the net. So now we have to wait. There's still one more game, the season finale tonight, to find out who they'll take on in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It'll either be the Avalanche or the Predators. If the Avalanche beat Nashville tonight, it'll be the Avalanche. If the Predators win, the Kraken will take on Dallas in the first round. Did you get all that? The Wenatchee Bighorns jumped out to a 10-point first quarter lead, never looked back. Last night, easy victory over the South Bay Flash, 114 to 103. Kelvon Fuller led 4 players in double figures with 22. Jalen Nixon had 21 for Wenatchee. The Bighorns host Vancouver. That's Sunday at 3 o'clock at Eastmont High School. Town Toyota Center is a busy place these days. You got Wenatchee Wild hockey, you got Bighorn basketball, you got Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks indoor football, and they'll host Las Vegas tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at the TTC. It's their second game of the season, and that's where we met up with defensive lineman Gabe Collins, who's in his third year playing for Wenatchee. He said his football journey began when he was just a little kid.
I'm born and raised in American Samoa. My whole life it was either the rugby or football. And then around when I was in freshman, and I decided to start playing football. And when I got to the time that I played football, and then I started playing quarterback. And from there, I've been started quarterback from there all the way to my college. And then I decided to gain weight, and then decided to move to the dark side, which is a defensive lineman. So from there, and then I got the opportunity to play here at Wenatchee, and then for the Wenatchee Valley Rams, and I found out about this place, and it's pretty amazing here to live here.
Collins worked his way here to the Valley. He was following his brother to play a little football. He says he loves it here. He's an assistant coach at Wenatchee High School, and he says he brings his heritage with him wherever he goes.
Our life is always about happiness, you know. When we go around family or friends, we always try to sing along with a song, like to make us like hyped up, like for our day or whatever the the hanging around situation. We will like play ukulele. The song is always there in our culture. Like we always, when it comes like a hard time, we always try to find something to make us happy, not to think about a situation, what's going on. So, and how we raise, the way my parents raised me is always be positive. You know, no matter what, you got to respect your elders and respect your people older than you, your brother, older brother. It's come to that situation that we kept that going and try to make it simple for our life and then just be proud to ourselves.
Collins works overnights at Confluence Health at Central Washington Hospital, and he says the local folks really support the local teams.
I told them, and then they have a whole row last weekend, and I literally can hear them the whole time. They were amazing. They came through, watched my game, and it was pretty awesome to see them are supporting. And I'm pretty sure it's good for me in town to have a player in town, so people knows like we do have players in town. We gotta go support, but. To me, I love the town. I mean, I know the town that loves sports. They love support their town sports. So, the hockey, the baseball team, the basketball team in town, and I feel like that's what the town needs. You know, they have a football too, and it's pretty amazing to see what we at, where we at, and I play for the town. It makes me really happy about it.
Collins helped lead the Skyhawks to the championship game last year, and he was also the co-MVP of the league.
I'm proud of myself. You know, I feel like it was as a co-MVP I feel like our whole defense did it. You know. It's make it easy for every single one of us, and I'm proud to be a defensive MVP, and you know, it's just give it back to the community. It's just give it back to the young guys who are still hungry, to show them that something that they will get it in the future, something that if you push it through, you will get it.
Collins and the Skyhawks kick it off against Las Vegas tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. At the Town Toyota Center. Mariners back home after a 3-3 road trip. They welcome the Rockies. First of a 3-game weekend series tonight. Former Apple Sox Marco Gonzalez will toe the rubber for the M's tonight at 7:10 on Root Sports Northwest. All right, to the Les Schwab Prep Baseball scoreboard from yesterday. That is not a misprint. Lake Roosevelt beat Orville 25-0. Tenasket over Bridgeport 27-1. Brewster topped Manson 11-1. And Ephrata handed Moses Lake Christian a 19-2 defeat. The schedule, a couple of Big Nine doubleheaders. Eastmont is at Davis, and Eisenhower will be playing Wenatchee at Recreation Park. They'll get going at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow's doubleheaders all begin at 11 with Ellensburg at Ephrata, Quincy hosts Chelan, Cashmere's at Cascade, Lake Roosevelt visits Omak, Okanagan will host Tenasket, Liberty Bell plays at Brewster, Orville's at Manson, and Waterville-Mansfield will host Pateros. Let's talk softball. Scoreboard, Waterville-Mansfield topped Chelan, Lake Roosevelt beat Orville, Okanagan over Liberty Bell, Tenasket took care of Bridgeport, Brewster all over Manson. Doubleheaders this afternoon at 4. Davis is at Eastmont, and Wenatchee is at Eisenhower. 7 doubleheaders across the region tomorrow. They get going at 10 a.m. That's Ephrata at Othello. The 11 o'clock games have Chelan at Quincy, Cascade hosts Cashmere, Omax at Lake Roosevelt, Brewster welcomes Liberty Bell, Orville's at Manson, Okanagan travels to Tenasket. Prep boys soccer. Yesterday, Quincy doubled up on Chelan, Cascade down to Ephrata, Brewster beat Orville, Bridgeport edged Liberty Bell, Manson. No problems with Pateros. Of course, we're going to be at Leib to Field at the Apple Bowl tonight. It is Eastmont, it is Wenatchee, it is Sebastian, it is Matt. It is a beautiful game, pregame at 6:50 across all of our formats. Another action today, Okanagan will host Tenasket at 4:30. Moses Lake hosts Eisenhower tonight at 7. And there are 7 games on the schedule tomorrow. Told you there wasn't a lack of things to do over the weekend. Omax at Orville, Chelan and Brewster will go to the pitch. Manson's at Liberty Bell, Pateros is at Tenasket, Ephrata visits Prosser. At 1 o'clock, you got Royal at Quincy, and Cascade will host Overlake. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 25 minutes after the hour. Got to take a break, need another cup of coffee. 6 obscure holidays I could have chosen National Gardening Day. Any gardening expert will tell you it's way too early to plant anything right now. National Pecan Day, National Ex-Spouse Day, National Pan American Day, National Reach as High as You Can Day, but no. They called him Flipper, Fast. National Dolphin Day today. They are fast, they're smart, they're very social. They can hear frequencies 10 times higher than the highest frequency that we humans can hear. Of course, dolphins breathe oxygen. They don't breathe underwater, so they need to swim up to the ocean surface to get air. So how do you sleep without drowning? It's pretty simple. Half their brain naps and the other half doesn't. That's how they actually do that. They take power naps about 20 minutes at a time, so one half of the brain will go to sleep. The other half stays awake, so it continues to swim and eat and look out for predators. And after about 20 minutes, the other part of the brain goes to sleep, and the part that was asleep wakes back up again. And they do that all the time. Every dolphin has its very own unique whistle, solely his or her own. That's pretty impressive. Dolphins have teeth, as you probably know, but they don't chew with their teeth. They use them to grab their prey, and then they swallow their prey whole. And dolphin babies are born backwards. They are born tail out, so they don't drown during the birthing process. That's probably a good idea. They nurse for about 1 or 2 years, and they hang around with mom for a while, then they mate and they head off on their own. National Dolphin Day today. Gotta love the dolphins. 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Abe Lincoln went to Ford's Theater on the evening of Good Friday, April 14th, 1865, and he is shot by John Wilkes Booth. He dies across the street the following day. Of course, as most of you know, General Ulysses S. Grant, the hero of the Civil War, and his wife Julia were supposed to go and accompany the Lincolns to Ford's Theater. Who knows what would have happened to history if General Grant was there as well. But they begged off because Julia Grant, Grant's wife, was a very outgoing, social, and very popular woman, and she could not stand Mary Todd Lincoln. The two women just could not stand being even in the same room with each other. And Julia said, "I ain't going, Ulysses. You can go if you want, Sam. I'm not." And they just begged off, and they didn't go. Makes you wonder what would have happened if they accepted the invitation. They even put it in the newspaper. Grant's going to be joining Lincoln. They thought they were going to be there. Wilkes did. Happy birthday to Penny's. That's the flagship store in Kemmerer, Wyoming. A couple of years ago, they sold the store during their bankruptcy proceedings. They don't even own their flagship store anymore. 121 years ago today, James Cash Penney opens his very first J.C. Penney store. For a long time, it was an unbelievable success story. By 1973, there were over 2,000 J.C. Penney stores with revenues of $5 billion. That comes out to about $32 billion today. That's revenue. Last I checked, there were only 669 J.C. Penney's left. Last year, the company lost $268 million. They closed 4 J.C. Penney's in this state, including the one up in Omak a couple of years ago. But the one in Wenatchee is doing quite well. As a matter of fact, it is profitable. So I don't think that one's going to go away anytime in the near future. Penny's, an American institution, is 121 years old today. 113 years ago today, William Howard Taft was having a really bad morning at the White House, and he noticed, hey, the local team, the Washington Senators, have their home opener at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going to take the rest of the day off. I'm going to go to the ball game. Home opener, because life at the White House right now sucks. And so President William Howard Taft becomes the very first president ever to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at a professional baseball game. Yeah. And all 18 presidents since William Howard Taft, at least once during their presidency, threw out the ceremonial first pitch at a Major League Baseball game until Donald John Trump declined all 4 invitations to throw out the ceremonial first pitch at a Washington Nationals game. That streak came to an end with President Trump. 111 years ago, this just in, there seems to be an issue with the Titanic, the unsinkable RMS Titanic. 20 minutes before midnight on the evening of April 14th, 1912, we understand struck an iceberg and may be floundering. We don't do a Saturday show, so I'll just tell you now, it floundered, the Titanic hitting the iceberg just before midnight on the 14th. It sank a little bit later on. Happy 84th anniversary to my favorite novel. Absolutely my favorite novel. I'm a John Steinbeck fanatic. I've read everything he ever wrote. But The Grapes of Wrath stands alone as maybe the greatest novel ever produced in this country. And on this date, in 1939, you could go to the store and buy a brand new copy of the new John Steinbeck book, The Grapes of Wrath, a classic in American literature, extremely controversial in its time, not so much anymore. And 55 years ago today, the 1968 Masters won by Bob Golby, because Roberto De Vencio from Brazil, from Argentina, I think you know what happened. When it was actually over, Golby and Roberto tied. They had the same score. They were going to meet on an 18-hole playoff. Most of the 30,000 people at Augusta National had already left. Roberto scored a birdie on the 17th hole, the par 4, made a 2-foot putt for a birdie 3. His playing partner, because your playing partner keeps your score and you keep their score, Tommy Aaron, incorrectly wrote 4 instead of 3 on Roberto's scorecard. And after they putted out in 18 and they went to the little table, they just had a little table by the green, that's all they had back then in 68. Didn't even bother to look at the scorecard, he just signed it. And since you signed a scorecard, if it's a higher score than what you actually got, you're stuck with it. You can't do anything about it if you signed your scorecard. If it's actually lower than what you scored, you're disqualified. He signed for a 4 instead of a 3, and he lost the tournament by a stroke. And poor Bob Golby, he went down in history. It was the only major he ever won. He went down in history as the guy who didn't exactly win it. He got it handed to him 32 minutes after the hour. Birthdays, alongside Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson. The most important and influential man in baseball history, we're talking about Marvin Miller. Born in the state in 1917, he took over the Major League Baseball Players Association as their executive director in 1966, when the average Major League Baseball player was making $19,000 a year. Now the average Major League Baseball player makes $1.5 million a year because of that man, Marvin Miller, who finally challenged the plantation that was the Major League Baseball owners. His influence is far and wide, and to this day, Major League Baseball is the only major professional sport that does not have a salary cap. The players actually earn what they deserve. Marvin Miller, born in the state in 1917. Another heavenly birthday, the great Rod Steiger won the Academy Award for Best Actor for In the Heat of the Night. Charlie is a great movie. On the Waterfront, of course, he played Marlon Brando's crooked brother. The Pawnbroker is a great movie. If you get a chance to watch that, the great Rod Steiger, born on this date, 98 years ago today. We lost Loretta Lynn last October at the age of 90, born in 1932, the most awarded female country music artist ever, and the only female artist to win Artist of the Decade. She was named Artist of the Decade of the 1970s. Every one of them were male except Loretta Lynn, with 24 number 1 hits and 11 number 1 albums. We miss her. A couple of real live birthdays. Pete Rose is 82 years old today. He is the all-time Major League Baseball leader in hits, as you probably know. Games played, at-bats, base hits, and outs. Pete Rose is 82. And I follow, of course, Mongolian sumo wrestling. It's one of my hobbies that I have. And whenever I get a chance to watch Hiromafushi Kohei get into the ring, I'm cheering for him. Happy birthday, my friend. He's 39 years old today. I'm a strange person, but at least I know it. 34 minutes after the hour, Mike Magnotti has got an opinion. Buckle your seatbelts for that. And then it's back again. Color Rush is back again. It's going to be held on the morning of the Youth Parade. It's to benefit 2 great organizations who do great and important work, CASA and SAGE, and Stacy Gold from SAGE will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
I
I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why we need you. We need people to run camera so I can get back down on the broadcast and talk about what's going on. We pay $75 per event. If it's sports, if it's a parade, if it's Apple Blossom, if it's a Super Oval, $75. If that sounds like some extra good money for you, we'd love you to be part of our team. All you have to do is email me, sports@ncwlife.com. sports@ncwlife.com. In the meantime, I gotta go figure out this camera.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Like I've said before, I'm a regular churchgoer, so I run into this guy who I used to see at church, and as I haven't seen him for a while, I asked him, where's he been? Is everything okay? He said, I stopped coming, and the reason was I've been going there to church for a year, and no one has ever invited me out to lunch. Now, what kind of reason is that? Was he going to church to arrange lunch dates? And what I should have asked him is, did you ever invite anyone to lunch? Wouldn't it be a good idea if maybe we should do unto others what we would have them do to you, rather than expect people to do to you just because you happen to be there? This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
NCW Life Channel is your home for local sports with the Wenatchee Panthers and East Mont Wildcats right here. Coverage brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Biosports Physical Therapy, Clean Connection, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Confluence Health, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, and Together for You. Follow all the action right here on the NCW Life Channel.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
This is Tyson McGuffin, national pickleball champ, two-time back-to-back U.S. Open champ, and hometown Chelan guy, inviting you to your very own Lake Chelan pickleball tournament at Harmony Meadows. It's going to be an amazing time, and let's get our pickle on.
Registration is underway for the Lake Chelan Pickleball Tournament April 28th through 30th at Harmony Meadows Tennis Resort. All ages and skill levels are welcome. This is a shootout format to see who will take the gold, silver, and bronze. Find the registration link at moretomanson.com. Let's get our pickle on April 28th through 30th in Manson.
Is your recliner as comfortable as this? Does it have lumbar support? The new technology in power recliners is simply amazing.
Hi, can I help you?
Well, yes, I was just telling my friends.
Oh, about the great selection of recliners we have here at Boswell's? It's true. We have everything from pushback recliners to power recliners with all the latest features.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
By working together as a community, we can all play a part in promoting children's well-being and strengthening families. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Chelan Douglas CASA is dedicated to supporting families and reducing the risk of child abuse and neglect. Join us in our community-wide Pinwheel project and help keep kids safe. If you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, please call 1-866-363-4276.
Welcome back to the program. Last year, CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates, teamed up with SAGE. The acronym for that, Stacy, is, I always forget the acronym.
Safety, Advocacy, Growth, and Empowerment.
Thank you. These two great organizations who do great work for the Wenatchee Valley, needed work, sober work, teamed up to bring, to resurrect Color Rush. Color Rush was something that the United Way of Chelan and Douglas counties did as a fundraiser for years. That organization doesn't exist anymore, but they had all the leftover stuff to make a Color Rush, and you guys kind of picked up the ball and ran with it last year during the youth parade. And Stacey, first of all, Stacey, introduce yourself to our television family.
My name's Stacey Gold, and I work at SAGE and the Child and Family Advocacy Center. And yes, we picked up where Alan Walker and the United Way gave me a lot of great ideas, and we just took it and ran with it. And it was a super fun and successful event last year. We're looking forward to having a bigger event this year than last year.
Having once served on the board of the United Way of Chelan and Douglas counties, I know the work that goes into putting on Color Rush. It's a huge event with a lot of volunteers. Let's start out with that right now. How are you doing on volunteers? I know you always need more bodies.
We need more bodies. Ideally, it would be nice to have 10 people at each color station. We have 5 stations during the Color Rush, and it's super fun, a great way to get involved in your community, throwing color and seeing all the happy little faces on the kids and the families and the colors. It's just very magical. So yes, if you would like to volunteer, we would love volunteers. You would just go onto our website at findsafety.org, and you can actually put in your name and information, and you'll get an contact back. You'll be contacted back.
In fact, prior to this interview, I did my homework, because I try to do my homework before I do these interviews. Very well done website. Very simple to navigate. It's everything you need. In fact, it's right on the front page on findsafety.org. Right at the very top is all about Color Rush.
Yes.
Makes it super easy to find what you're looking for.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you did it worked last year. I mean, you hadn't done this before. You picked up something that already existed, and you were keeping your fingers crossed.
Yes, we were keeping our fingers crossed, and we did not know what to expect. Even the week before, we had way less numbers, and then the week of, we got over 500 people last year, and most of those people registered the last week, so it was a fun surprise to see all those people out there.
The Wenatchee Valley is a last-second town, you know
yes,
that.
Yes.
You know that. It is the Saturday morning of the youth parade. It used to be called the Kai's Fiber Youth Parade. They rebranded now. I can't remember what they're calling themselves now. I don't know. I don't do good with rebranding. So anyway, it's the morning of the youth parade at 9 a.m. They gather at Triangle Park. Basically, you do the parade route, right?
Yes, we do the parade route, except for it ends at 7th instead of 5th.
Okay.
So just one more little stretch.
And it should be pointed out, you don't have to run. This isn't a competition. There's no first prize. You know, they're not going to be handing out ribbons at the end of it. It's all to help out your two fine organizations.
That's right.
That's the most important, and to have fun.
And it's such a blast. If you haven't experienced, you just need to come out and do it at least once, and then you'll be hooked.
Well, let's get to that right now. What do folks need to do to get on board? Now, I'm sure a lot of teams have already re-upped. A lot of people are doing it as teams. That's probably the most popular way to sign up, right?
You would want to go to our website at findsafety.org or the CASA website, and I believe it's also posted on the Apple Blossom website.
So why the marriage between SAGE and CASA? You're two separate organizations, but some of the services that you offer and the things that you do kind of overlap a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, so we work together on cases sometimes where we're just providing the most care we can to give kiddos the best. So at SAGE, we have advocacy and we help with kids that have family struggling issues. I'm not sure how to word that, but we all work together to help the families and support them and get them the best care they need to survive.
And of course, CASA is the folks who, when the time comes and the kids have to actually go through the legal process of whatever that case may be, the folks at CASA and then the volunteers at CASA are there to represent the children's best interests, basically guardian ad items in court proceedings. So the kids are represented and the needs of the kids are represented when the legal system steps in.
That's right.
Which, by the way, sucks. And I hate to ask you this, I think the answer is yes, but how's biz, Stacy? Are you guys busy?
We are very busy. And since COVID has died down, it's upticked, and we have a lot of people that need support. A lot of crimes and things have happened. So
we during COVID, and I remember specifically discussing this with the folks at SAGE, they had a big uptake because all of a sudden a lot of families that didn't have the emotional bond that they should have were all of a sudden spending a lot of time together, and domestic violence took off and child abuse took off, and all of a sudden it was like drug abuse and stuff like that. And so it hasn't really tapered off in that respect.
Those things did all increase, but unfortunately there was no mandating reporting. So teachers and people that look after the kids outside of their homes couldn't report it. So we had a little bit of a lull, but it increased. And then after, kids started going back to schools, where we saw that uptick when the teachers and people could see what was going on with the kids.
And teachers are really your first line of defense in that respect, because they're the ones who see the kids 6-7 hours a day.
Yes.
And they can find out if something's not quite right in the Taylor or Johnson or Smith household.
That would be my perspective. I feel like they do have a really big job making sure our kids are safe.
You'll note, speaking of that, let's talk about that. You notice the pinwheels out in front of the Chelan County Courthouse building at Orondo and Washington Street, because you can't miss the pinwheels. They glisten in the sun and they spin around in the wind. Those are kind of cool, but people, by the time you drive by it, you don't know what they're there for. What are they there for?
They're there because it's Child Abuse Awareness Month, the month of April, and we just want to get the word out and make people aware that it's Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Do people close their eyes to that? They just kind of do, I don't want to know about it because it upsets me too much, or it doesn't affect me, so that kind of deal?
I'm not sure how people feel because I am drenched in it every day. So in my world, I can't ignore it, but I don't know how people feel outside of my work. But I would assume, people don't want to think about what goes on. A lot of people, I guess you could say, they ask me what I do, they go, oh, does that happen here in Wenatchee, or is it really that bad? Or it happens in Wenatchee.
And yet you still keep a fairly positive outlook. I mean, you must have some pretty difficult days.
I like to focus on, I think we like to focus on just what we can do good, and that makes up for the things that we see that aren't good.
Yeah, which is unfortunately too much.
Because someone needs to be there to connect with kids and be there for them and support them, and we get to do that, CASA gets to do that, SAGE gets to do that, and it's just truly a blessing that's more rewarding than the sad parts.
So Color Rush is back. Obviously, it worked in 2022, so they're going to do it again. So you raised how much money last year, and what did you do with it?
I don't know the numbers off the top. I think it was around $13,000.
Oh, good.
But I'm not 100% sure on that. But last year, we took the money and we give it back to our kiddos. Sometimes our grant fundings don't let us have free will to do what we want with the money. So an example is we got to provide a driver's ed to one of our kiddos. That was super awesome. And in the long run, it worked out great. Has a job, has a car, and that was awesome and exciting. Another thing that we did with the money we raised was we have forensic interviews, and that is when there's a law enforcement calls out or CPS calls out, and the first thing they do if it's screened in is that they have an interview with a kid to see if there's a crime that's been committed or sexual assault that's been committed, or if it needs to go to prosecution, and then they bring that kiddo to SAGE and we have a forensic interview. That's what it is. And you ask science-based questions to gather the most information, open-ended, to see, if something happened, and the kiddo tells us, answers those questions. With that being said, after the interview, a lot of times law enforcement and CPS need to go talk to parents. So we created a room that's safe and beautiful and kid-friendly with a little kitchen and a little table and arts and crafts and everything you could think of. So after that interview that they do with law enforcement or CPS, they go back into this room with an advocate, and they get to have downtime and play with an advocate and get support from them and told how wonderful and brave they are for coming in and doing such a hard thing while the parents are meeting with law enforcement and CPS. So that's one thing we did with the money too.
Because the kids don't know what's going on in that respect, and you have to make it as relaxed and informal as possible so the kid opens up.
Yes.
As opposed to putting up the wall and you're not getting to me kind of thing, which is kids will do that too.
Yes.
Most kids they don't have a filter. If there's something not right, once you find that highway, that roadway, you usually make pretty good progress, right?
It depends on how much abuse has happened. So if they're scared to talk and things might get really bad for them, they won't say a word. So.
But you're good at what you do.
I'm getting better.
Well, you got to be good at what you do, or you wouldn't be doing it.
That's true.
If you think about it that way. You mentioned it went down during COVID, but it maybe just didn't go down. Just the reporting of it went down because we were all locked in together, and now you're back and it's kicking back up again. Is there? How do you know you're making progress? Is it one case goes out the door and the next one comes in on your inbox? How does this vicious cycle come to an end, or does it? And you just have to deal with it.
I don't think it comes to an end, but yeah, you just do the best you can. You support and connect, because you can't control the outcome of the courts. You can't control the outcome of the parenting plans. You can't control the outcome of what happens at home, but you can connect and let them know that you're supporting them, and sometimes all you need is one person to believe in you and connect to make a difference. So that's what we focus on.
Well, let's go back to happier stuff. Let's talk about Color Rush once again. Let's get people. We already talked about volunteers. What are the critical dates that people need to know? And again, all of this is at findsafety.org. That's the website, or I think there's a link on the CASA side as well, right?
Yes.
So either one of those will get you where you need to go. You can sign up. You can get sponsors. You can sponsor you get big time money, whatever the case may be. Give me some of the pertinent details that people are going to need to know.
So you can pick up your shirts and check in with us starting April 24th through April 28th from 4 to 6 at the location of SAGE, 710 North Chelan, Wenatchee. We'll be there passing out shirts and getting people checked in. You can also check in with us the morning of the race. An hour before, we will have a table set up at Triangle Park if you would like to grab your shirts then. It's always a rush that day, so I advise coming in and picking it up from 4 to 6 at SAGE if possible. Volunteers, if you sign up to volunteer, we will have a volunteer meeting Friday before, and we will send out you all the information you need to your email regarding that.
And for the uninitiated, I'll just let you know what Color Rush is. Basically, there's 5 stations, different colors: red, green, blue, yellow, and
all sorts of colors.
Plaid, I think. I'm not sure what the 5th one is. And you literally walk through this little staging area, and people throw stuff at you. I think that's the best way to put it. It's a cornstarch-based powder, so to speak, and so by the end of the race, and again, it's not really a race, it's a fun thing, Jake, you're coated in colors. And then you get to keep the shirt. And I believe there's a way you could wash the shirt with some sort of solution so the colors stay permanent.
You're supposed to soak it in vinegar and then wash it, but we have the directions to do that, I think, involved in our website. So.
And it is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. It is a lot of fun, and it's just right down the parade route, except 2 more blocks. It goes from you go to 7th. And what else do we need to know? There's still sponsors available, right? People
please.
Businesses and individuals want to sponsor.
If you want to sponsor, just reach out to us. Call SAGE or call CASA, and we will we'll make sure that you can get your sponsorship.
So it's back. It is Saturday, April 29th. Again, staging is in the 8 o'clock hour. They get going at 9 o'clock at Triangle Park. We'll be televising the Youth Parade again this year on the Instant Life channel, so hopefully we'll see your happy faces flying by our camera positions. Did we get everything covered?
I think so.
Okay. How do we help Sage and how do we help CASA? One last little thing before I cut you loose. How do we help you guys?
We always accept donations year-round, so that would be helpful. And we also need volunteers, and I'm sure CASA would always love more CASA volunteers as well. So that is how you could help out.
Yeah, CASA, they have another training session coming up in the not-too-distant future. We'll get you those exact dates. It is a time commitment. I'm not going to lie to you. Hank is just shaking. Hank the Wonder Dog is here. There is some time commitment. There's a lot of training going on, but once you are certified and ready to go, CASA would love for you folks to help them out, court-appointed special advocates. And why can I never remember the acronym for SAGE? I've been talking to you folks for years, and I can never... Safety, advocacy,
growth and empowerment.
Finally, I got it. Thanks for your help, by the way. And have fun on the 29th.
Thank you.
All right. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
Did you know that nearly 50% of pet poisoning cases involve human medications and prescription drugs? Sometimes the culprit's a curious dog, but cats get into their share of trouble as well. Other times, pet owners mistakenly give their pets their own medications that are safe to people but toxic to their pets. Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff care about your pets. Go to pawsandclawsvh.com for a complete list of medications to avoid or call 888-PAWS.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
All right, a week's worth of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's about ready to wrap up. 36 degrees here in the big city. We've ticked up a couple of degrees since this show started. As I mentioned at the beginning of this program, I went all the way back to March 1st. I was just kind of curious. 35 of the last 44 days, going back to March 1st, of those 44 days that are in the books, 35 of those 44 days, our high temperature each day has been below normal. And every day this month, except one day, the afternoon high temperature has been below normal. And I'd like to tell you we're in for a nice, pleasant warm-up with gobs of sunshine and temperatures getting near 70 or 71 degrees. I would be lying if I did so. From the National Weather Service, here we go again. Sunshine, yeah, we like that. And that 58 isn't going to be too bad, but our normal high this time of the year is now 61. And as you can see, graphically represented there on your television sets, not going to happen. 38 for the overnight low tonight. You'll start seeing high clouds begin to filter into the valley in the overnight hours. And when you get up Saturday morning, we'll have quite a bit of cloud cover, and that's going to be the case all day tomorrow. A couple of degrees warmer, near 60 for our afternoon high on Saturday. 40 for the overnight low on Saturday night because the blanket will be keeping us fairly mild. That is actually close to normal for the overnight low is 40 degrees. Sunday, a little bit of rain in the afternoon into the evening hours. Again, we'll hover right around that 60 degree mark. But then here comes another cold air trough coming in on Sunday night, and we're going to cool all the way down to the freezing mark. By the time the sun comes up on Monday morning, it's going to be cold next week, too. Sorry. That's it for us. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.